We're starting this video out a little different, folks, here. Working on a 2005 Chevrolet. That's the 2500. It's got the big 6.6. T-man. Customer complaint, no four-wheel drive. New transfer case motor he put in it. Apparently the old one went bad and he had to warranty it, and then put in a new set of push buttons, and has several transfer case modules sitting inside the vehicle. I'll fast forward. I wanted to make sure before I do any diagnosing, because evidently it has no codes. Lights light up, everything flashes, just won't engage transfer case or the front axle or anything. Wanting to be sure, because there's so many transfer case modules in there, that I have the correct one, hardware wise and software wise. I double checked by the bin to make sure it's the right hardware, right part number, installed it, and programmed it, so we know we're not combating any software issues. So we have the right transfer case module installed, programmed per the bin of this truck. It's an NP1 option, November Papa 1. Lots of options for these. So this is the two-speed selectable, no auto, none of that junk. Anyhow, put it in, and he's right back to where he started. Nothing works, the lights light up. So I just figured, well, we'll do the basic checks, and so I'm checking at the module. I have all the inputs. I push the button, it sees two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, for low, neutral. It sees all the inputs, and all the data stream looks good. There's just nothing being output to the shift motor. So you don't see any current flow on the motor control circuits, motor control A and B. There's an old saying, garbage in, garbage out. So if we have no power going into the module, it can't necessarily turn on the shift motor. So first thing I check is the 30 amp fuse that feeds the transfer case module. Boom, check that, fuse is good. Go under the hood or under the dash where the module is hanging. It's got a power and a ground, big heavy orange wire, big black wire. Stick my 4 amp test light on that. Nothing, no light. Okay, so I unplug it from the ground, ground it on the dash, boom, the light lights up. So we have no ground. So it's either a broken wire or a bad ground. So I look on the chart, it says the ground is at the left front cab mount. Bing, bang, boom. I get down here, this is what I see. Brand new bolt, all heat shrink, crimp sealed, all that stuff. So I take my test light, I hook it to power, bing, bang, boom. Lights up on the bolt. I reach in here on the eyelet. See if we can't poke through to the eyelet here. Oops. Well, if I can get in there, I get through to just the eyelet. Boom, it lights up. I'm like, all right, well, I'm sure they made a good connection there, but let's not be stupid. Oops. Be stupid, just lost my test light. So I grabbed the old needle. Worst way to do this, I was just gonna cover it up. So I jam it right into the wire. Uh-oh, got a light here. I got no light here. How can you have all of this and absolutely no connection? I'm like, well, I don't know which one of these runs the transfer case, so I came over here. I did the hokey pokey. I'm straight into that wire. No ground. I haven't checked the third one yet. So it was at this point I wanted to turn the camera on, because just because something looks new or looks like it's been fixed, insert quote fingers right there, nothing. I've got no ground on all three of these wires. What the world? Okay, so that's weird, right? Let's dig out the knife. I gotta know. I gots to know. We got a brand new blade in here. How could they have missed all of this, all three of these? All this heat shrink and all this crimping, and I'm like, did they not strip the wires? I'm just trying to figure this out. I guess we're gonna take all this crap off, but I'm just kind of curious, and I know that you want to know too. I'm in a weird spot, because not in my life, but physically in a weird spot right here, because I don't have the truck on a lift. So I'm using my one hand to hold my head up because I have no strength. I just want to know how this has happened. I'm down to the crimp and I'm seeing insulation going into the crimp. That would be hilarious. Well, she's crimped like a banshee. She's smashed right on there. I tell you what, instead of keeping you in suspense, let's unbolt this. But did they literally not strip the wires? That would be a ding-dong move. Not that this guy's a ding-dong, it's just like, it's one of those things you do and you're like, frickin' ding-dong. You say to yourself, I'll try to get this. They were serious about getting it sealed up. I'll tell you that much. And at the end of the day, I guess if you don't want to get corrosion in there, if you don't strip it back, that'll definitely keep it from getting corrosion. I think they crimped the damn wire. I think they crimped the insulation. Let's grab our test light again now that we're back down to the eyelet. So the eyelet is definitely grounded, but there's absolutely nothing in that wire. What the world? And whatever they did, it's the same on all three. No, I see some copper up in that joint. I see a little bit of copper just tingling out of the edge of it. So technically, I think I can short out that copper. Let me jam into this wire again. See if I can get my test light jammed in there. Okay, my test light's jammed in there. See if I can. Yeah, look at that. No shit. So if I stick my knife up in the end to touch the copper, dude, they crimped the insulation. They never stripped the wires back. Because all I'm doing is taking my knife blade, touching the copper, and then touching it to the eyelet. Dude, that is freaking hilarious. This is my first time coming across this. Oh, this guy's gonna feel like a ding-dong. That's funny. They crimped the insulation. They never stripped the damn wires. Ay, ay, ay. You wouldn't believe me if I didn't show you, so here we are. Stainless steel bolt, lock, nut, they were going all the way. Wow. Well, it's probably going to fix his ABS light and the other lights that are on as well. I don't know what all these ground, but they look important. I've never had to fix these on a Chevy. I see these things come in all the time and everybody says to clean them, but I've never seen them cause a problem once in my life. And that's coming from a Chevy mechanic. That's me. Let's go like this. Let's break that off. Oh no, they did. They just did it over dirty copper and it was a really piss poor crimp. Look at that. Huh, well. So that's fun. I think the same thing here. Probably just, you know, this copper is super dirty here. Neato, man. Whatever it is, there's no consumer on that wire. We'll just have to redo it. It's just interesting that all three wires, same thing, right? Yeah, that copper's darker in a pocket, boy. It's black. Which is fine. Sometimes you get corroded copper, it's a little black, but yeah, look at that. They did strip it back, but again, you know, I shouldn't be able to just pull your crimp off with no sweat. Huh. Alright. Allow me to fix this, and then we'll see if we fixed it. And the good news is he's got the latest software now on his transfer case module. That's the good news. Looks like we have nice shiny copper up the wire here. All right, stand by, folks. Let's get her fixed. Oh, let's see here. Oh boy, well, we all make mistakes, folks. I guess if these aren't long enough, we can always move them, but we need to get to good copper. At the end of the day, that's what we need. That and hugs. Not great copper. Let me grab a little piece of sandpaper. It's nice and stiff. It's not, but anyhow, where were we? You know, it's just not shiny, and I want to make darn sure we have a good connection there. Well, this will be humbling. It happens, folks. It can happen to any of us. There's that. Let's give it the big squeeze. Make sure it's in all the way. Oh, it's very tight. This poor fella. What are you gonna do? Cable looks nice and shiny in the middle. Must be just a little bit of oxidation. That was really drawn up. Must be a little oxidation on the outside. Yeah, because the wires feel good. Usually when they're black like this, they just crumble when you touch them. I see a little dust coming off that small one, but I think he said he's ditching the truck as soon as he gets this back, I think is what he was saying. He just wanted to sell it with functioning four-wheel drive. Something like that, who knows? Looks good. I should have brought down a wrench and socket with me, huh? We're in all the way. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Alright, let me get some tools. Get this thing swapped out. I think that one's gonna reach. This one guy current. I'll see either one of them sparking. Let me hook my test light back up inside, then we'll see which one of these is the actual ground, because it's a 4 amperes. He should make some sparks. You stay right there. See if I can open the door. I'll knock you over. Oh, look at that, I did. Pop, right above you here. Where are you at? I don't have a light in here, so I'm gonna guess. I think it's that one. Hey, now I got a light. And I think it's that one. Okay, I'm in the hole that I think I need to be in. And technically, if I come down here, one of these wires should spark. Ooh, this one does now. This one sparks. Oh, my light lights up under the dash. Spark, 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 spark. So let's see if, yeah, I guess that's good enough. Because now we have sparks, even though you can't see them. Maybe you can. Well, my light under the dash is lighting up, so therefore, my 4-wheel drive should work. Poor fella. He was so close to fixing it on his own. And did a much better job than me as far as putting the extra goop and stuff on it. Just didn't quite have it. Old school mechanicing right there on the ground. Let's see. I took my test light out because it was up here smoking. Are you ready? 3, 2. Oh, this poor fella. Oh well, let me show you which circuit it was in case you're curious. I printed out OEM and aftermarket diagrams. And the circuit was this one here. Let's see, the fourth one up there, that ground where it says, I don't know what it says on your screen. Let me put my glasses on. Looks like it's in focus. That's the ground we fixed. And without that ground, everything here works. You know, like I said, no codes, no nothing. Everything functions as it should. You can see all the inputs from the buttons. And yeah, so then you just have to, like I say, garbage in, garbage out. This big ground and that big power, which comes from your truck fuse, 30 amp, that's just the power supply to move the motor. So it's evidently not even a monitored circuit inside a transfer case control module. So that's that. Stick to the basics, folks. You'll win every time. And he's got a few spare modules. And we'll give him a couple of papers he can have. We'll leave it at that, folks. I'll see if it fixes those other lights that are on. He didn't really express any concern with those. Just told me to check the codes in the ABS system if I would like. And other than that, you just want a four-wheel drive so you can sell the old diesel. Before you guys go down in that comment section and rip this guy to pieces, just remember, you've made a mistake. Every freaking one of you. Myself included. So keep that in mind. It happens. Shush happens, okay? And that's it. And I've crimped hundreds, probably thousands of blackened copper wires that have some sort of oxidation on it. And I've crimped hundreds of them without cleaning them off with a piece of sandpaper, and I've never had an issue. So this guy had some super duper 3 in a row bad luck. Wow. And I can't say that I've ever made that repair either. So I don't know if it was just so much oxidation and a poor crimp, a combination, but man, 3 in a row, that stinks. So anyhow, don't stink it up in that comment section with bad comments. Good comments. Insta, Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.